So, Trikki have been up to mischief. This is Pete, the new guitarist for Rock for Heroes. We thought we would do a little introduction and get to know him a bit better before we all meet him. We will be meeting Pete on Friday in Banbury, all being well. Whoop, whoop.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah.
Indeed.
So, we thought we'd do a little bit of a get to know you. We've got some questions lined up for you, Pete. I hope they're not too scary.
I'm sure they'll be absolutely fine. Good afternoon, ladies, and good afternoon, anybody that may be tuning in.
Cool. So, Tracy, you've got some questions. I've got some questions. Do you want to start the proceedings?
Afternoon, Pete. How's your weekend?
Absolutely ordinary. It's a very quiet weekend. No gigs this weekend. So there's been a lot of relaxing, quite a lot of cooking. It's been good.
With a cup of black tea, I presume.
We'll get into this shortly, but this is a debate that's been going on since I joined Rock for Heroes. And I just want to point out right now that Phil is wrong, but we'll get there. I'm sure we'll get there.
We will get there, definitely.
Okay, so I can see there's multiple guitars behind you, Pete.
There's a few, yeah.
Yeah. And what's your favourite to play? So
it depends what you class as a guitar. Because there's some obscurities up here on the wall. There's a banjo, there's a mandolin, there's a ukulele. There's a ukulele up there. So, but in terms of actual guitars, there's 5 that I use regularly. So there's this side. There you go. 2 Les Pauls. There's a Friedman. There's a Tetley and a Strat that cover all the kind of the bases. But this is my number 1. This is the one I use 90% of the time. Had it for a few years now. It's very special. I like it quite a lot. This is number 1. And the black one that you can probably see just there is number 2. So I kind of switched between this one and the black one.
How old were you when you started playing?
Oh, God. A lot younger than I am now. I think I was about 12 or 13. There's an interesting story there. So my dad played. He's a great player in his own right, and I went away on like some really corny summer camp thing when I was about 12. I think my parents wanted a shot of me for a few weeks, and I think the final night they had like a karaoke, but there was about 500 kids there, and I got up and I sung a Queen song, and I absolutely, but let's be clear, I butchered it, right? Really badly, but the kids don't know good vocals from bad vocals, and I got like a room of 500 people were applauding, and it was like, that was it. It was like, I enjoyed that thing. So I kind of went home from this summer camp, and I knew that I wasn't a great singer. And I said, Dad, can you teach me to play guitar? And it just went from there.
Fab, awesome. So obviously you've just joined Rock for Heroes, and you've probably worked out quite early on they're completely bonkers. Had you been to a Rock for Heroes show before you joined?
I hadn't, no. So actually I was aware of Rock for Heroes kind of in the kind of peripheral, especially in the Cliff shows, which were quite local to me a few years ago, right before the pandemic hit. So I was kind of aware of Rock for Heroes, but I actually ended up talking to Phil in a really, really odd way. I was selling something on Facebook Marketplace, and he messaged me about the thing I was selling, and he didn't actually end up buying it. But then we kind of got into a conversation, and then we became friends on Facebook and saw videos of me playing. And I think there's probably something that stuck in the back of his mind then, because when he reached out to me a few months ago, that was obviously meant to be, perhaps. Who knows?
So you touched on singing as well. Are we going to hear that when we see you in the theatres?
Probably not. So I can do backing vocals, right? I can provide reasonable backing vocals. I can't sing as well as Tay and Hay. I can't sing as well as Jodie, and I can't sing as well as Phil. So I think I'll probably offer myself up if we need some extra vocal layers, but I'm not gonna push the issue. I'm quite happy with my 6 strings, to be honest.
So obviously, I'm presuming you've done some bits and pieces. We saw you at Brides Fest. How was that? Was that pretty awesome?
That was really good. It was really well organised. The organisers did a fantastic job. We were really well looked after, which was great. And it went pretty good. Considering it was the second time I played with them, that was somewhat of a trial by fire. But yeah, I think the whole band pulled together really well. It was really enjoyable. Certainly one of the biggest crowds that I've played. I think it was 8,000 or 9,000 in the end with the final numbers. These are the ones that I've been hearing. So it was a lot of fun, especially when you've got the fireworks and the screens and the barriers, and you can dangle your toes over the edge of the stage while you're playing a solo. It's very good fun. Yeah, it was excellent.
What was your so obviously you've done a couple now with the band. What's been your favourite song out of the set list to play?
Oh, that's a hard question. That's like asking someone what their favourite child is. I think I like different songs for different reasons, right? So I like Bohemian Rhapsody because it's a classic song. It's a fantastic song. There's some really intricate guitar work in there that I really like. It's one of those solos that you cannot get it wrong, because if you get it wrong, everybody will know, because they know that thing note for note. I like Sweet Child of Mine because there's just a lot of guitar solo. I'm quite one-dimensional. You'll see this. And Final Countdown, again, really kind of harps back to my wheelhouse, which is that, kind of 80s glam rock thing. That's always been my thing. It probably always will be my thing. I've dabbled in other stuff, and funk and jazz and country and that kind of. I'm not really a good enough musician to play jazz, so I left that with the guys that are capable enough. But rock, 80s rock, that kind of glam rock's always been my wheelhouse. So anything in that genre is a bit of me. But yeah, there's a few standout ones. Haven't played Africa with them yet, so I'm kind of looking forward to doing that. That'll be a good song, because that's one of those real kind of air grab type ones, right?
I can't wait for Friday. I'm so excited. It's going to be awesome.
So excited. So if you could put any song on the Rock for Heroes set list, what would it be?
Oh, that's a hard one, because I like all that obnoxious instrumental guitar music that no one else wants to hear. Probably something like Bark at the Moon by Ozzy. That's a really good song. I love that song. Or Still of the Night by Whitesnake. That's another really good one. Bad Boys by Whitesnake. All of that stuff. Def Leppard track would be really good. There's a few that I would like to put in. I don't know, I'm just gradually going to nudge that and wait until someone bites.
Definitely. Or Def Leppard's track would be awesome. Yeah, absolutely. So did you go on a tour bus to Rise with the rest of the crew?
I did. Yeah, it was my first experience of the bus.
How was that for you?
Yes.
Who was the messiest, the noisiest, the fastest,
you see, I don't feel like I've been in the band long enough to know this, right? I feel like everybody's probably still on their best behaviour, because it's like the new boy and they want to leave a good impression before it all kind of... But oddly enough, this is really funny, I actually feel that totally unintentionally, the messiest person on that tour bus was probably me. So we got home from Bridesfest really late. And, we'd been snacking, and I got like a McDonald's and stuff on the way home. And it seems that everybody has an allocated seat. I learned this very quickly. Everybody has the seat that they prefer. So I kind of just slotted in where there was a space. And we got back at some ungodly hour, 3:30, 4 in the morning, whatever it was. And then I had to take the equipment out of the bus, load my car up, and then drive home to where I live. Obviously, you're very much half asleep at that point. I left all of my rubbish from the snacks that I'd been having throughout the day littered around my seat on the bus. Because then when I got up the next day, I thought, I know what I've done. I'm that guy. So I think I'll be paying close attention to that in future. So at the moment, the messiest person on that bus is me.
Excellent. So when we interview the next person in our next interviews with Trikki, and we ask the same question, they're just going to point the finger at you.
See, the thing is, I think they're all too nice. No one said anything yet. No one said, that Pete, mate, next time, can you please take your rubbish home with you? No one's done that yet. And I don't know whether they didn't notice. Maybe Phil just did a Mrs. Doubtfire in the morning and just went and absolutely blitzed it and cleaned everything up, and nobody was any the wiser. I don't really know, but they're going to know now, aren't they? So running out of places to hide with this now.
So who's your biggest influence? And don't say Phil.
Can't I say Phil? Damn. Because the problem is he's paid me to say this. So now I'm in breach of contract and I've got all kinds of problems. No, I like different artists for different things, right? So there are some artists that I like for various reasons and others for others. So, for example, for guitar, as an instrument, you've got your kind of hedonistic 80s guitarists, Paul Gilbert, Steve Vai, Yngwie, all of that stuff. But when it comes to kind of music and bands and that kind of thing, it's a bit more varied. So like Motley Crue, I was a huge Motley Crue fan for a very long time. Not necessarily because they are stellar musicians, but because it's the whole kind of subculture around Motley Crue and what they created at the time and what they, the magic that they created. I feel very strongly about bands like Whitesnake and Def Leppard and bands like that, hugely into those. There's a lot of really good new 80s rock coming out as well. So bands like Reckless Love and Eclipse are really, really good bands to listen to. They write beautiful melodies, which I think is really important. And then, I like a lot of country artists too. So people like Dierks Bentley, big fan of Dierks Bentley. I like his songwriting. Brad Paisley is just the most unbelievable country guitarist. You hear him and it's like, this is ridiculous. I know nothing. Very varied. I don't think I have like that one band or that one person that I can go, yes, that is my thing. I've sort of assembled influence from all over the place.
Obviously, there's not one influence there, but if you could get a ticket to see any bands ever, dead, alive, whatever, who would it be? You have one last ticket to go and see a show.
Probably Led Zepp, because it was just there was a magic thing there. Led Zepp for sure.
Good choice.
Awesome.
I'm glad you approve.
So popping back to Rock for Heroes and the set list. So when you first saw the set list, what were you most excited about playing? Oh,
it was an interesting one actually. So before I joined Rock for Heroes, I was doing a lot of pub bands and stuff because I was kind of I wanted to be active, I wanted to be gigging, but there was nothing bigger that kind of presented itself. And before that, I was doing a number of different tribute bands, and I happened to be involved with 2 tribute bands that were for 2 of my favorite artists, so Def Leppard and Whitesnake, which was unbelievable fun, especially Whitesnake. When I looked at the set list and I saw they had Here I Go Again on there, that was a big one for me. I just love that song. It's super powerful. The whole band play it really well anyway, but that's a really big one for me. And probably Bohemian Rhapsody as well, because it's just such an anthemic song.
Yeah, that's huge. It's huge. So obviously things are looking really good. Lots of dates in the diary now moving forward. What are you most looking forward to moving forward now with the band?
I'm looking forward to a local show because I've got plenty of friends that want to come and see, some family that want to come down. So I think we're playing at the Civic Theatre in Chelmsford on the 7th of October. Yeah, so that's a Thursday. Taking some off work for that. We're gonna head down there, have a great time. I've got loads of people that I know that are going down, so it's going to be hopefully a really warm crowd. And it's it's a great venue as well. New theatre in Peterborough this weekend is looking really good as well. It's a beautiful, beautiful theatre, so that's going to be good fun as well. Looking forward to all of them. Just looking forward to getting on the road, to be honest with you, and making some music. Yeah,
not long to go. Friday, off to Banbury. A little bit of a backstory for you, Pete. Tracy and I didn't know each other before Rock for Heroes TV started in the middle of, the start of the pandemic. So it's like half an hour away from me. So and we've been causing mischief ever since.
They do some amazing stuff, right? Like I'm kind of finding out about this now, like after the fact, and I've heard stories of Hayley gargling wine being one of them. But I think there was some acoustic stuff going on. They were doing quizzes and like really good way to kind of keep the spirit alive, right?
It was just mind blowing. It was the most phenomenal time. 6 o'clock every night when you're on furlough or you're not working and you're home all day. You've got no plans, no routine. It's all gone out the window. But you knew that at 6 o'clock every night you could sit down and plug yourself in, and somebody was going to appear and do something ridiculous. So it was great. So it's absolutely brilliant. Really
especially in that kind of like March, April, May period where it was really uncertain what the road ahead was, and I think everybody was looking for that little something to hang on to, certainly in terms of like not just spirit but live music and performers and that kind of thing. I think I imagine it was unbelievably well received, and it was obviously a great thing to do. The
first few weeks, you're watching it and you're seeing the same names pop up, and you're like, then you start chatting, and it's like, oh, I don't live very far from you, and let's all have a day out. And when we could, and it's just been the most amazing thing. But the weird thing is, and Tracy and I say it quite a lot, is you can't explain it to anybody who doesn't know.
Beautiful friendships come out of it as well.
Absolutely.
I just want to address this tea thing, right? Like, I need to address this tea thing.
Let's get this out of the way.
This is really important because Philip is wrong. I feel very passionately about my tea. When I joined RFH, it was nice to see that Phil also shares my love of tea, right? Unfortunately, not all tea is created equally. So you've got, the bottom of the barrel, really nasty stuff, and like Taifu is down there for me, I think. And you kind of, it's like the ascension of man. Tea gets more sophisticated as you move up, right? And Phil seems to have stopped at Tetley, which is, I feel like he's got a way to go, and he's not figured it out yet. And so I'm a big fan of your Yorkshires, your Yorkshire Gold, your Betty's. Betty's is, but then he's got this thing about black tea, right? And I feel like black tea is the purest form of it. It's tea for the purist. Phil, I've never seen anybody put so much milk and sugar in it. I don't have a problem with milk and sugar, but he is genuinely excessive. He battered me on the live stream for my taste, frankly, better tasted tea. Well, this is the revenge, Phil. He cannot tell me what is good and bad tea when he puts that much milk, that much sugar in Tetley. Not having it. Black tea, Yorkshire and or Betty's is the way forward. Loose leaf if possible. I clearly need a social life, because this is getting a bit silly now. If I put as much effort into my playing as I did into my tea.
Well, I'm sure there'll be some sort of comeback from Phil with regards to the...
I'd have no doubt. We've got the RFH mugs as well that are coming to a venue near you very soon. Let's not forget, get your RFH mugs.
So mugs, tote bags, key rings, T-shirt,
the whole lot. You can be fully kitted out in Rock for Heroes. You're going to look fantastic. Everybody will want to be you. It's great. So,
and available at every venue moving forward. Is that right?
I believe so. I think it's going to be very stock dependent, right? So, and obviously there are a few kind of supply chain challenges right now, so it's going to be very stock dependent. But I have no doubt that all the while they can sell, they will sell. It's been amazing to have you have a good old catch up and find out a bit about you, Pete, so that when people see you out on the road, they know all about you now. Yeah, so, come and say hi. I'm not a scary person. I'm very small. I'm a 4 foot of fag paper, as they say. So come and say hi. It's great. Thank you. It's been lovely to meet you. Lovely to get to know you. We will post this up on the Facebook group, and everyone else can get to know you. Sounds great. I'll see you Friday. Yep. See you Friday. Bye-bye. Bye. See you Friday.